Dude, I don't know if it's true, but you know how I told you I was listening to a lot of the Sherlock Holmes books? In one of the very first ones, the first case is about a bunch of Mormons. And I didn't even know that. This very first book is about Mormons settling in Utah.
What happened?
Is it American Sherlock Holmes?
No, it's British Sherlock Holmes, but the crime...
Here?
Huh?
He comes here?
No, he doesn't come here. The crime
Mormon Meadow
started
Massacre.
here in Utah, Salt Lake City. And
What is it?
the guy ended up chasing the two people he wanted to murder, and he ended up chasing them all the way to England. And he ended up murdering the two guys in England.
Sherlock Holmes did?
No, one of the guys. The
Oh, that's
murderer.
why Sherlock Holmes did?
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes is investigating the thing, and the guy he's investigating, the murderer, is the guy from Salt Lake City who murdered two Mormons in London.
Were they missionaries then or something?
Ex-missionaries.
Oh, Ex Machina.
They're coming back for the business.
Spoiler alert, even though you should have fucking read the book like 60 years ago when it came out.
I know.
But I guess
Wait, man. Oh, what the hell, bro?
I guess what happened
I
is
was almost on that part.
a little girl and like a hunter were in a party of like 20 people, and they were trying to make it to California, but everybody in the party ended up dying, and the guide and the little girl were the last ones left alive. And they were laying in the desert somewhere over close to Utah, they don't know where, and they were both about to die from dehydration, and they fell asleep, and when they woke back up, there was a giant convoy of people there, and it was the Mormon party, the pioneers, the very first ones with Brigham Young in them. And they're like, oh, it's probably Redskins or whatever, and they go up there to like kill these two, but it was the guy, he was just all sunburnt because he was the one that was like showing them their way, and the little girl. And the Mormons were like, well, the only way we're going to let you come with us is if you convert to our religion and you take Mormonism as the thing, you know, like, and if you don't, we're going to leave you out here to die.
All right.
So they're like, all right, I guess we'll, become Mormons. So they become Mormons, and they end up finding Salt Lake City, and everybody gets like a chunk of land or whatever, right? And that guy gets a chunk of land, and he adopts the little girl, and she eventually grows up when she's like 18 or something. And I guess Brigham Young comes to his door, and he's like, hey, we noticed your daughter's of age, and she needs to marry into some family, and there's not very many wives. And I guess what the Mormons were doing, I don't know if it's fact, but they were going around, and like other people would, like travelers would come through Salt Lake City, and the husbands would somehow die. Like, they'd fall off a cliff, or they'd get killed by Native Americans or something. And everyone's like, but there's no Native Americans this far west, you know? But the husbands were getting killed, so then there'll be all these, like, wives, you know? And they'd get scooped up into the families. And I guess not very many travelers were coming through, so they wanted that girl to be married in one of their families. And the dad's like, that's the last thing I'm going to give to you guys. So fuck you guys. So... like, as the Mormons give them, like, 30 days to decide which family she's going to get married into, or something's going to happen. And, I guess the girl, she had a boyfriend or something, but the boyfriend went to Colorado to dig coal. So the dad sends a message on one of the fucking
Bottom of the earth, man.
convoys, like, to go tell him to come back. There's a problem. The guy ends up coming back, and he's like, all right, we're going to get the fuck out of here. And so the three of them pack up, and they start heading out to get to California to be safe from the Mormons. And about halfway there, they run out of food, so the boyfriend tells the old man and his girlfriend to, like, stay in the camp while he goes hunting. He goes off hunting, but he gets lost, and then when he comes back, they're not there, and he finds that the old man was murdered by somebody.
The lady.
Nope, there was a pack of horses were there. It wasn't horses, it was Mormons on horses that killed him.
Mormon Meadow Massacre.
Yep, they killed him, and they took the girl back to Salt Lake City to have her married.
Dude, I can see that's probably.
And then he followed them back.
he solved it.
No, he couldn't get to them. She ended up dying later because she thought she was going to be there forever. So she ended up dying from, like, not eating or nothing, and then he was mad and he wanted to murder the two guys that wanted to marry her. And then they left the religion, and they found out that he was trying to murder them, so they left the country. They left the country to a bunch of other places, like India, Pakistan, and, like, everywhere else, and he followed them everywhere. Then he finally followed them to London, where he became a taxi cab driver. And then he gave them, one of them, a taxi
like way
ride.
in the future, he's like, follow you.
No, it wasn't like a taxi.
Later.
It wasn't a taxi. It was like a horse-drawn carriage. But he ends up giving them, one of them a ride somewhere, and they were drunk, and then he ends up killing them. And then he kills the other guy, too, and then Sherlock Holmes
He didn't kill him, the drink killed him. That's
basically,
why Mormons no longer do this.
Basically, yeah, he killed him with a drink. He gave him an offering.
That's how you do
2
it,
pills.
man.
You either drink the blue pill or you drink the red pill. One will kill you, the other won't.
You have to see how stuff started popping up on the Mormon religion when he started doing it, when they did settle everybody and all of a sudden, all these boys are starting to get older and more strapping and all these ladies are like, oh, wow, you're so cool, and we should run off, do whatever they're following and all this young love. And then these guys are like, dude, we need to have more people, our families aren't strong, blah, 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 blah. These people are taking all these, we're getting divided families, blah, blah. And out of nowhere, right now, you guys at this age, while you're young and healthy, we can send you on a mission. So we'll take the 2 best years of your life while you're young and fertile. We'll send you off, and when you come back, we'll give you what you need. But you need to, go spread the word. They'd go off, go on their mission, freaking
Never even come back.
Everyone come back. Most of the girls would be married to other families. Their next wife to, of course, an apostle or whoever's. More, I wouldn't say in charge, but people, that are like having larger families. And next thing you know, you just kind of.
And that's when the Chinese came in with their freaking ninja stars.